These are just so good. These are just more than joy, they really are. They might even take over from my Vanessa Myrex obsession. These are just so good. Oh my goodness me. Look how colourful I am. Hi everybody, so today I've got a super colourful eyeshadow to show you, or I've got two even. These are the new Isamaya 1.0 and 2.0 core eyeshadow palettes. So we're going to try a look with both of these, look at swatches of them, try lots of colours on the eyes if I can, and see if I can get away with just using these without introducing matte. Can I just play with shimmery metallic colours and build colours on colours? That's what I really want to find out. In other words, can you buy one of these and not need anything else? Or would one of these maybe be the perfect complement to a matte palette, which is another way we could try it in another video, because today we're just going to try these on their own and see if that's enough. I've also got two of the new Violet FR lips here. So I love Violet lip products. The last few that they've launched have been my favourites I think I've tried this year. So I had to get these ones. These are liquid mattes, I believe. They're called the Plume lips. So I've got two different shades of that to show you. I did actually pick up another shade in the Metal Lip Balm from Isamaya. This isn't new, I just picked up another shade, so we'll also have a look at that. And I've also got a new blush from Violet FR, which I'm just going to look at. I do have blush on, but I thought I'd just show you what I picked up because I love Violet FR. I also picked up their Balm Amour, which is more of a lip balm, night lip mask, I believe, something you can use with your lips. So might as well have a look at that as well while we're here. So anyway, if you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty, and here on my channel I like to show the latest releases, my favourite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this, I do upload here regularly each week on my channel, so I would absolutely love it if you did subscribe. Lots of people tend to tune in but don't subscribe, so if you could, that would be ever so helpful to me and I'd be so grateful. But if you're already subscribed, welcome back. I really appreciate you for being here. And looking at my skin tone to match up with shades today, I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones that do lean a bit neutral, so I can sort of wear warms and cools. I've also got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's dive straight into this review. So, well, first of all, you may have noticed my hair colour has changed, if you're wondering why I look a bit different. So I went for a copper sort of, I called it a copper refresh because I've kept the sort of blonde coming through the top and then coming into more deep copper at the bottom, but I do have copper running throughout, if you notice. So this is it's the first time I've ever had this sort of colour. I was quite nervous, but I don't think it's too much of a risk. I think I've just about got away with it. Anyway, this is my autumnal hair look. I don't know if I'll keep it for summer or spring. Maybe I'll change it up and go lighter again then, I don't know. But right now, I love this. I actually really love this, and it's so good for autumn. So I may even go a little bit darker again and add a bit more of the copper to the top when I go back for my next sort of refresh, which will probably be around Christmas. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think I should go darker than this, or stay like this, or go lighter than this? Anyway, your feedback is very helpful because you basically inspire me to make these changes with your recommendations and thoughts, so you really do. So hats off to you and thank you for giving me the courage to be inspired by all of you, really. Anyway, let's start the review. I've got the Violet FR Balm Amour. I thought I'd start this because this is a lip prep essentially. I've got the details here. So this is the result of 6 years research, it says, a formula that does it all with no compromise. It's a waterless formula that wraps your lips in a cushiony comfort as potent ingredients work together on the surface. High performance blend of skincare, actives like phytocollagen, natural peptides and moisture locking butters that cushion, restore and visibly smooth the lips. The result is lips that are visibly smoother, fuller and more nourished, finished with a cooling ceramic applicator. So this is a plastic tube with a ceramic applicator. It is very cooling actually. That's really different. It looks like it'd be plasticky, but when you touch it, it's not. That's really cool. I don't know if you can see that more close up. Very hard to appreciate on camera, I would imagine. Anyway, the results are lips that are visibly smoother, fuller and more nourished. Have I already said that? I think I have. So anyway, I'm going to put this on now as my lip prep. So let's see what this is like. I'll show you what it looks like on the back of my hand first so you can see the sort of consistency. It's a very thick, it's like a lip mask. Straight away it feels thick like the one I put on at night from Fenty. Just don't want to waste that bit there. Oh, that is so cooling, it's lovely. Oh, I love that. Oh, do you know what, it's worth having just for the applicator. It does feel like, oh, the perfect sort of lip prep, it really does. It doesn't feel too thick, so I think it'll work underneath lipstick, which we will find out right now actually. So obviously this needs to be something I test out over time, but I think rather than using it at night, because I tried switching from my Fenty pudding lip mask and using the Charlotte Tilbury lip mask to test out overnight, as I promised you I would, but I just couldn't. I needed to go back to the Fenty. So I'm testing this one out as my lip prep as well. So I will alternate between the two of these and give you my thoughts on them at some point. So far, really liking it. So let's go straight to a lip product. Let's do the one from Isamaya. So this is the metallic lip balm. I just picked up one. I already had one. I really liked it when I tested it last time, so I thought it would be a good time, seeing as I'm doing an Isamaya eyeshadow review. So here is the packaging, which has the Braille on it. As far as I know, I mean, feel free to correct me, I don't know any other brands that do it with Braille on. I think that's such a nice touch, I really do. So this shade, these are quite adventurous to be fair, and this one is pretty adventurous. So what did I say it's called? Chalice. So let me show you on the back of my hand. Well, these are metallic. These don't mess about. They really are. I mean, don't think lip balm, this won't show up. They will. Oh, look at that. Now that is what you call a party lip. Do you know what, this lip balm on top of the Violette feels really nice. My lips feel truly pampered, you know. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. So that's my Autumn Sparkle lip sorted. Oh, I really like that. What do you think of that? Chalice. We're off to a good start. So let's now look at these eyeshadow palettes from Isamaya, and probably the best thing to do is start off with playing both of the swatch videos back to back. If you haven't already seen them, if you have, feel free to speed past them, but here are my two swatch videos for both of these. So here it is.
You're something beautiful, electric chemical. You take my breath away, feel my emotions push and pull. Shooting stars in your eyes, you're bringing me to life. Love how you say my name, you make it feel like summertime. When you reach out your hand, I find myself again. Electric wonderland, no, I just can't get enough. You feel like magic. Just one touch, my God, I gotta have it. You feel like you're something beautiful, electric chemical. You take my breath away, feel my emotions push and pull. Shooting stars in your eyes, you're bringing me to life. Love how you say my name, you make it feel like summertime. When you reach out your hand, I find myself again. Electric wonderland, no, I just can't get enough. You feel like magic. Just one touch, my God, I gotta have it. You feel
actually get the industrial palettes when they first launched. So what Isamaya has done is taken the most popular shades and added a few more shades into at least one of these two. I think one of them, which we'll get to as we're doing it, has only repeated shades. I think that's the silver one. And the gold one, which is the 1.0, I think that one is the one that has new shades added. So it's the most popular plus the new, but the 2.0 doesn't have new. I think that's right. But I didn't get the original, so some of you might be asking or thinking, how does it compare to the original? So I apologise for being unable to do that for you. I do regret not getting the original, I really do, which is why I pounced on these the second they launched. But Rebecca did get one of these. If you follow Rebecca, my partner in all things makeup and beauty here on YouTube, her channel is Not Fit for Print Beauty, if you don't know Rebecca. But Rebecca already has the original and she's getting the gold, so she's getting the 1.0, so she can do a comparison between the formulas. Hers hasn't quite arrived yet because if you're in the US, you probably know the shipping issues right now are just horrific. So please do go and watch Rebecca's review when it comes out. It's really difficult for creators when we're trying to get products that have just launched and trying to get them out to you, and then we get them late and then nobody watches because we're putting them out too late and the interest dips. But that's so hard because people like us, we've already invested in the product for the channel. So Rebecca bought them the same day as me. I got mine yesterday. Rebecca still hasn't had hers today, so please do support her channel when she gets hers. But also she can do something that I absolutely cannot do here, which is compare new with old. So when her video launches, I will add it to the video description here. So if you're watching it by that time, you will be able to click directly to her video and watch it. But for the meantime, I will just be saying in this video, keep an eye out on Rebecca's channel for that review. So we don't know, or I don't know, if these shadows are actually reformulated or are they just taken from the original and repeated in formula. I have read mixed reports on this, some people saying they are definitely reformulated, some people saying they're not. So as I go through the description now, I'll see if it says anything there. I've taken it all from the website. So if we're looking at Industrial 2.0, which I've got the notes for first. So this one is the one that I said doesn't have repeated new shades. So this is 2.0 rebooted, featuring 14 of their best selling shades in luminous crystalline pigments that shift and shine with every angle, smooth blendable, endlessly versatile for creating subtle moments or full impact looks. This is £95. So this one celebrates soft patinas, shifting chameleons and elevated metallics, designed for effortless creativity, glides on seamlessly to create luminous, refined looks that feel modern, intriguing and endlessly versatile. So this has been restored. So when it says the palette has been restored, that doesn't say reformulated, does it? For a new generation of creativity. Each pan contains the same amount of pigment, so the pigment hasn't changed. The kidney design uses pans of different depths. So while the surface area may look different, every shade is equal in weight. So every shade is exactly the same quantity. The pigments can be applied dry for a soft, luminous effect, or you can use a damp brush if you want to really ramp up the intensity and for a multi-dimensional payoff. These are vegan, cruelty-free and fully recyclable. So they come with a nice mirror, and we also get the braille again on top. So some people don't like the kidney sort of shape of these, which I totally understand, but I see it more as molten metal, like when if you've just melted metal down and it's just pouring out and oozing out. So it's how you look at it, how you think of it. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I do like something that's unique, although this won't sit quite as neatly in my drawer as a flat-sided palette might. So this one is the Core Palette 1.0, and again this is a reimagining of the boundary pushing Industrial 1.0, combining iconic cult shades with 4 new pigments. So this is the one with the 4 new pigments, offering bold metallics, rich mattes. So this one has mattes in it, which this one doesn't. And multi-dimensional finishes designed for maximum creativity with upgraded high performance formulas. So upgraded formulas. So it does suggest reformulated, doesn't it? Upgraded. So maybe they are fully reformulated. So it would be very interesting to anyone who's got the old one when they make comparisons to see how different they are. So this one showcases molten metallics, oil slick duochromes and iridescent shine for unrestrained artistry. These pigments can be blended, layered or foiled for multi-dimensional payoff. Core 1.0 builds on the Industrial 1.0 with their 4 new shades alongside the cult favourites, so it's perfected in these upgraded formulas. So that does suggest that something has changed, doesn't it? So I've heard nothing but fabulous things about the old one, so I do hope that this upgrade is a good one. But my biggest question about both of these is whether or not you can wear these without wanting to reach for a palette such as the one I just reviewed recently, my most recent video, the Natasha Denona palette, because I do think that a palette like the Natasha Denona, soft or maybe dramatic, but more soft I think, which is mostly matte, could be a really good one to pair with one of these. If you were going on holiday and you wanted to have several different looks, taking something like a matte palette with one of these, you're covered for everything, every colour, every situation. But I also want to answer the question, can I wear these without reaching for a matte, which is what we're going to do, as I said at the start. And when I was trying to choose which one of these to get, me and Rebecca often split things, as you know, so quite often we just get one or the other. And first thoughts were, the gold one has to be Rebecca's, the silver one has to be mine. But then I looked at so many of the colours in the gold, and I don't, whilst this one looks cooler, I still love the greens in this one, and it was those greens. I thought, how can I not get a palette with 3 greens in? I just can't. So I ended up saying to Rebecca, sorry, I can't split this one, and I have to get both. I have to. I can't leave those greens, I can't. This could be my happy place now, these two. I could use these forever. Now obviously I've only got 2 eyes. I'm only doing 1 look with each. I can't do more than that. My eyes just won't let me at the moment, so I do apologise. But what I can promise you is I will make shorts with these. I will make different looks with these. And if I pop up in other videos wearing looks with it, I will point out which colours I've used, just so you can see all the different sort of looks that I'll probably get. Because I would imagine I'll use 1 or 2 shades with the look. Today we're probably going to go mad and come out with a completely crazy look just to really see how they all build together. So let's get started. I've had absolutely 0 thoughts on how to work with these. I don't let myself plan videos, I just go with the flow, so this could be superbly disastrous. So now I've managed to mix up both of the covers that tell me what the shades are. These covers, by the way, that come with them that tell you what the shades are, they also have them here in Braille, so you can know which each shade is. That's so good and such a nice touch. But I've managed to mix them both up now, so I don't know which is which. Genius, Hannah, genius. I think I've worked out which one's which again. So these have a 12-month shelf life, by the way, and these are actually made in Korea. So very, very interesting. Anything that says it's made in Korea these days makes me very, very excited, because they only seem to come out with fabulous formulas, whether it's skincare, whether it's makeup. Let's try eyeshadow from Korea. So when I use natural brushes, I often get comments saying you should have used synthetic and vice versa. So maybe for both eyes, I'll switch it up. So as my starting brush, I will use my Victoria Beckham synthetic brush. And for the other eye, I will use my Sonia G. So they're both blender brushes, both I love. So I think what I want to do to start with is see if I can just grab a light colour as a base colour, as a one and done. I see these palettes very much as one and done palettes, with maybe like a pop in the inner corner, possibly a liner shade, but for all over the lid, what colour are you wearing today? So I've got a dark green top on, what colour do I want to match up with my top? What colour do I fancy today? And because I'm going to build on it and add other colours, I think I would start off by adding a light shade. So let's look at the 3 different greens that we're getting. Obviously we're starting with greens, that's just a must. This is the gold palette, which is the 1.0. So let's choose one of these greens. So this one is a duochrome. This one has much more of a wet finish. That one seems quite shifty as well. So it's a start-off shade. I think that one might be better. So we'll go with the Victoria Beckham, and the shade that I found that doesn't have the duochrome is this one. These 2 are both shifty greens. This one isn't. So let's do the non-shifty green with a fluffy brush and see. Now these are the sort of formulas I tend to go with my fingers, but I want to just go with brushes to see. Oh, that's so beautiful. So I'm putting that to start with in the crease, and that's answering my first question. Are these shades suitable for mature skin and crease as a transition? And look how good that is. Let me zoom in a bit actually. That is beautiful. So I'm using a synthetic brush. It's picking it up beautifully. I love this brush from Victoria Beckham. If I went in with my fingers or a wet brush, obviously I would get a lot more. I'm not going to be doing that today because we're building them together. I might for a topper at the very end show you with fingers, but that is a one and done, is perfection. That is absolute perfection, and it works all over the whole eye, it really does. Oh wow, that really is something, isn't it? I could stop there, my look is complete. Love it. I think I'll take that. No, I won't take it under the eye because we're going to completely mix things up. Now I do like mixing greens and purples, or blues. We've got these. I also love mixing this sort of shade with a green, unless we just go for all three. This could be hideous, but I want to see what we can do with layering. So think more of this as an experimental video rather than a tutorial in colours I think work well together. That shade of green I use, by the way, is called Initiator. I forgot to look at the shade. So the one I'm using now is called Brass. So this one. So I'm using the Wayne Goss number 6 brush. And I'm going to start introducing brass on top of the green to see how they build. And this is going to be a sort of outer V shade. And so far the answer to my question is they build beautifully and they layer very nicely. Look how easily that's gone on. So I've got 2 shimmery formulas in that part of the eye that can be disastrous with mature skin. And I would say it's not emphasising texture and lines much at all. Those 2 colours do work together, they really do, don't they? I love them. Very autumn appropriate. And they even match my earrings, I just noticed. I've got these new earrings for autumn. My eyes match. When I do the other side, a completely opposite colours, I won't look so good. These 2 colours, wow, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to regret changing this look up by adding more, I think, because I really like what I've got. We have to play around today. I really love those 2 together, I really do. What can I play with next? This is so much fun, it really is. And I try a little bit of one of these. Let's look at this, and this, and this. So I can try and decide from the 3 of them which one to use next. So in the order I swatched them, here are those 3. So this one looks much more like a topper, so that could come in at the end. Well, that could be in a corner actually. And this one is much more chunky, so I think this one you'd have to be really careful with, especially with fallout. That's the one I'm tempted by. That is this one here. I'll just have to risk it. I'm going to take my BK Beauty 207, tap off a lot, and try this in the inner corner. So we're going with a lilac in the inner corner. Oh, look at that. A lilac-y, sort of light purple. This palette really encourages you to play with colours, and I absolutely adore it. I really do. I think I might take the, I don't know, I think, what brush? I'm mixing up brushes now. I said I'd stick with synthetic and I've reached for several. The Wayne Goss is natural. The BK Beauty is synthetic. So far I'd say they're working with all brushes rather brilliantly. I'm looking now for my Refa 14. And I'm going to take, which one of these shall I take? Let's just be brave and go with the bold. I'm going to take this one. So we introduced a pop of sort of purple in the inner corner, and then this is a very light fluffy brush. So take this purple, which by the way is Fume. The shade is Fume. And the one in my inner corner is Suspension. So with this fluffy brush, I'm just bringing that lilac so it's moving from here to meet there. Maybe even go slightly above. Oh, look at these transition of colours. They're just fun. They really are good fun. Wow, I'm having so much fun. I knew I would. Should I take this maybe above here as well? Look at these colours together. Now this is a soft look. You could double the intensity of what I've just done with these colours. So if you've got a deeper skin tone or you're someone who likes a really bold look, you could really go for it now with a wet brush. I won't do that because then I can't really play with colours because it would be too much for me. I'm trying to think what I could do underneath. Maybe I'll try this green sort of duochrome. I'll go in with my Sonia G Pencil Pro brush. So I'm going in with this shade, which is called Fuel. At the moment I haven't had any fallout, but this could be a problem. It's much more chunky, but it's so pretty. Look at that. Because it's got that sort of purpley shift in it. I don't know if that's going to end up with bits in my eyes though. I slightly brought that up for a wing, which I didn't really intend to do there. I would like to try this black really as a liner shade. Maybe I should take a tiny bit of this one, which is ultraviolet, and just join up the inner corner with that duochrome green there. This is the most colours I think I've ever put on my eyes in any look ever. Let's try this black one, which is a matte, I believe. Yeah, this is a matte. It's quite a soft black matte. It's not over the top. I think that might be the only matte in this though. It said it had matte, but... So I'm taking my liner brush now from Sonia G. I'm slightly over that duochrome green, and now I'm going to do a classic sort of liner for me, which is taking the dark liner just to that part of the eye, bringing it up for a tiny wing, and then going tight to the lash line. And that works perfectly. But that is a matte. Remember that. That's why it's working this way. It's very smooth. That doesn't mean we can't use metallics for a liner, and I think on the other look, when I go into the other palette, I will use a metallic to line. That is quite perfect for that. So I'm wondering if I could just try this one as a sort of topper. Let me see how it looks. It does have a sort of ultraviolet maybe. Wow, okay. So here it is. You can't see it until I do this, and then you really do see it. Let's just do it. Why not? Let's put a bit of this in the middle. Look what that I've just brought. Haven't I now got the most fun eye look you've ever seen in your life? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's just so good. Now, I don't know if I've created a look. More, I've put the whole palette on my eye, nearly. But I still love it. And I love the way that if I turn my eye now, you can see all these different colours. It's just so fun. So we have got one and dones aplenty in this palette. We have got an absolutely gorgeous formula. I say a formula, there's multiple formulas, as we've seen with this sort of selection on the back of my hand. We've got this very smooth matte, we've got chunky metallics, we've got these very smooth but very pigmented ones. Then we've got duochromes. We've got topper shifty ones that aren't remotely chunky. We do have a real combination, but every single one of them worked with every single brush, layered on top of each other perfectly. I don't feel any need to have any mattes for a base or anything else. I think they all worked really well. I absolutely could travel with this happily. I really could. I could probably have this palette and be done for life. That is how good it is. Because I've got my liner, I've got an inner corner option. Which one did I use today? I used this one, didn't I? So I've got two inner corner options. I've got a liner. I could use maybe this one as a liner as well. This sort of duochrome worked quite well as a soft liner because it's dark enough, because it shifts. And then you've got one and dones everywhere. There are so many of them. So you just go with one shade, line inner corner. even skip the inner corner. You don't have to do that. I haven't done under the brow. I'm not sure we've got an under the brow here because they're too shifty. That's probably the only thing I would say. But that's not essential. If you're travelling with something like a setting powder, so I've for instance got the new one from Dior here, so I might take a bit of this on my fluffy brush, and instead of doing an under the brow, I'll just take the powder to just soften the edge. And also a powder like this could be used if you wanted to fix up, if you're applying on top of makeup, if you do your makeup first like I've done. I've had no fallout, so I wouldn't say you need to apply this first and then do your makeup. I've had no fallout whatsoever. I'm not sure if you went with a wet brush, you shouldn't either. That should even make it more secure. So I think you can afford to do your full face and then add this. And use a powder like this to just soften the edge and do any cleanups. But there we are, it's my first eye, and I absolutely loved every second of that. I really did. You can tell, I'm sure. So that was 1.0. Safe to say, I've fallen deeply in love with it. Absolutely, truly, madly, deeply. So let's, before we move to 1.0, take my lipstick off and put one of the Violet ones on. So I've picked up 2 shades of this Plume lip from Violet, described as a feather matte, giving you medium coverage, a lip whip with hydrating gel cream texture that cushions the lips, delivering bold colour with an ultra blurred, effortless finish, encouraging spontaneity, not perfection. So in other words, slap this on a train, on a bus. I know that that's what Violet does in some of her videos. This is designed for intuitive, mirrorless application. Glides on with ease, no tools or precision required. They are emollient rich, comfort first, moisturising the lip while providing a weightless finish and lasting stain with up to 12 hours wear. So, I don't know, maybe look out for my end of month review on these for the lasting stain. I've got Châtaigne Grillée, which translates as roast chestnuts. We've obviously gone for a brave colour here, but very autumnal appropriate, very much so. And I've also gone for Chéri, which is a shade I absolutely love in the Bisou Balm. So this one has got more of the red, deep red, both perfect autumn shades. This one's the Chéri. I don't know which one to put on. Châtaigne Grillée, I might try that one. Let's see, I'll put that one on first. It feels very creamy and velvety, and this is what the doe foot looks like on it, by the way. Very small, but very pointed if you want to be precise. So I'm going to do it like this, as if I don't have a mirror, I suppose, to see if it truly works. Yeah, I would agree with the mirrorless claim, because you could just put a little bit here without looking at a mirror, which I'm not now, and then go and be fairly secure that you've got a good coverage already. But then you could go back in, if you do want to use a mirror, use the pointed tip and then do the edges a bit more. This is a gorgeous formula, you know, it's very creamy, very velvety, very plush, beautiful, silky, silky soft and smooth. And pretty complimentary for a matte. I don't feel like it's emphasising all my lines in the way a lot of these products can. Got to be a bit careful when I take it with the liner on the outer edge, because can you see I've picked up a few sort of pieces there. You need to make sure you don't have too much on the end, but very easily fixed. Oh, that is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So these are my Dior that I can't live without in all my new autumn shades, the Dior Show on stage. Are they going to be my favourite lips of the autumn? Well, I've just wiped that off the back of my hand with a tissue. I didn't give it time to dry down, but look at that. So I think the lasting colour is probably, Even with a makeup wipe, it's not coming off. So they are going to last. So I don't know how well I can show you Mon Chéri, but it is a bit deeper. But I'll show you Mon Chéri right at the end, I think, before I do my mascara. I'm superbly excited to move on to 2.0. So this one, we don't have any mattes, but that's fine. We've established we don't need them. And I will just mix and match all my brushes, because I've also established I can use any of my brushes with no problem. So where to start with this one? So again, I want to apply a shade that I think can work all over as a one and done, which is pretty much all of them, but I want a light one. Now we started with a green in the other one, so I better skip the greens on this one. If I'm going to go for a light base option, I'd say it's going to be one of these. So which one? I've got to go for that, haven't I? I've got to. So this one is called Galvanised, and this time I'm starting with the Sonia G brush. I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on this side by taking it all over to show you this is a one and done. Picking up a small amount with now a natural brush. And just like the green did, it's blending out in the same way. I've got a feeling this and the green I used on this side are probably the same formula. That's sort of really satiny almost. It's not that chunky metallic that's over the top. More like a smooth shiny satin. Bit creamy though. A lot of these are very creamy formulas, and it's working just as beautifully. Oh, isn't that lovely? So this one, compared to this eye, currently starting off, this is a shade that would work all year, to be honest. You can build it how you like, but this could be a really spring, summery look as well, showing that these palettes are covering every single day of the year. They really are. I love this one for autumn though. I did say how much I love to mix purples and greens, but shall I just go completely rogue and try something I wouldn't put together normally? That's me building this up now, so I'm getting a bit more of a pop. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful one and done shade. Love it. But I'm thinking now, what would be a colour I probably wouldn't mix with this? So if I go with my Wayne Goss number 6, I'm thinking this is the one I probably wouldn't, so let's just do it. This looks like one of these really chunky ones. So very careful tapping off. Let's introduce this shade to the outer V and up into the crease and slightly above. And I'm hoping that we just get that sort of magic result that we got with this one, where it just didn't seem to matter what colour you put in, it just worked. And they do work together. Is that just the way this palette goes? You could just randomly pick. Go and ask your husband or your kids to come in and choose a combination for you and they'll just work. Is that how this is such a genius palette? Just play and see what happens. Because I did not envisage these two shades together and I love them together. See how this is encouraging you to play with colours and learn how colours can work together as well. Now I would probably take this under the eye, line and be done with this look. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to do something similar to the other side. And just keep plugging away and trying more shades. So let's go for an inner corner shade. So I need something light. Let's see if these are duochromes or are they just whites. So there's those two. The first one has an almost, it looked like it had a hint of green, maybe it's more gold. This one's more, yeah, like a sort of iridescent silvery, I'd say. That's going to be a really nice inner corner. I want to go with a bit more colour than that for the inner corner because I want to do something a bit different. Maybe this one. Let's see what that one does. One's a duochrome, I think. Yeah. No, that's not an inner corner shade. This is actually a shade we've seen come up in a lot of palettes, which I love. I love that combination. So look at it there, and then look at it with the shift. Isn't that gorgeous? Imagine that as a one and done on its own. It would absolutely be perfect. But because the shift can be so dark, I wouldn't go inner corner with that. Okay, let's go with the green. It's called Patina. I'm not sure I'd ever use a green as an inner corner shade, but today we're breaking rules and I like green. Oh yes. Now, I don't know if I'd want to bring green all the way up here. I want to see what this one does. This one is very shifty, again. This one has a sort of gold and a red to it. I'm going to take the Rapper 14 and I'm going to try this one here, joining the green to this shade. So this one here is called Oxide. Oh, that's pretty there, look. When Oxide meets with this shade. Oh, I like those, you know. Isn't that gorgeous? See the shift in the Oxide as well? When it meets with this one, which was called Amour. I'm going to try this blue. This one's called Corrosion. This is one of those really bitty ones, and I'm going to try this under here. So we've got green and then we've got blue. I'm not sure this combination is as cool as this one. I want to show you as many colours as I can. Is this a shifty one? Because I feel like I can see green, not just blue. Let me swatch it. Oh, it is. It's a duochrome. Oh, it's gorgeous. This one would be really nice as a one and done, you know. If I say blue, it looks like so many different colours. It's just sort of purple, silver, blue, lilac. It's got everything in it. I think what I might do is take a little bit more of this shade with a fluffy brush, that was Amour, and just put a bit more in here. I want a bit more depth from it. I want to see a bit more of it because I love it. Oh yeah, that is good. What a lovely shade. So this one used with this one is a really, really nice combination. So that is Amour and Oxide. Those two would be a lovely combination, but I do think that this works really nicely with this lilac-y one, which is called Galvanized. I'm going to go into my finishing powder, just soften that edge across the top here. I don't think I should introduce any more colours because this will start to look ridiculous. So we have bluey purple shifty under here, we have green here, we have lilac here, we have this sort of rusty red here, and then we have Oxide, which is a sort of goldy, I don't know what it is, it looks like it's almost got a touch of green, but on the eye it's more of a goldy, slightly coppery finish. They just work together absolutely gorgeously. I love them. So with the liner brush, I'm not going to go into my finishing powder. I'm going to take this darkest shade here. So this one isn't a matte. This is a really creamy. This feels like smooth like a matte. I don't see any sort of metallic in this. I think that's exactly why it's there. It feels like a cream liner. So I don't know if that's what it is. But it's called Carbon. So if you know. It feels like a cream liner to me. So let's use Carbon. I've just realised I didn't zoom in for this section, so I do apologise for that. I hope you've been able to see it all clearly. I should have zoomed you in. It's a really nice shade for lining, you know. So we've got a perfect liner shade with these on both. Really, really perfect. Should we go for a pop in the middle like we did with this one? And if we're going to do that, it needs to be this one or this one. So which one do I choose? I think I'll go with this one. Alloy. So let's just pop a bit of alloy in the centre here. Whoa, okay. Alloy's not messing about. You can see with finger application how much you can get from these. This is the first time I felt like it is emphasising texture a little bit, and I think that's because it's quite a sort of chunky finish. Also the colour, that's the wrong brush. Still, it's not emphasising texture enough to put me off. I've also just had a little bit of that come on my cheek. But that really gave it a lovely pop, didn't it? Oh, this is just, oh, these are so good. These are just so good. These are just more than joy, they really are. They might even take over from my Danessa Myrex obsession. These are just so good. Oh my goodness me. Look how colourful I am. So I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you're going to some sort of wild festival party. But what we have established today is that you can really mix these up and get so many different looks. You can just play around. My advice would be to pick maybe 2 or 3 shades max and then play with those 2. Obviously, if you really want to go for a colourful eye, play around as much as you like, but that's how I would wear it. Don't see these looks and think, oh, I'm not buying that because I can't have those all those colours on the eyes, because you can really stick with 1 or 2. There's a one and done for everyone in here. There's more than one, there's tons. There's just so many options. Like for me personally, as a one and done, I would go with the lighter one. So I'd probably go with this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I don't know about this one. I did avoid that one. I did think it's just a bit much for me. It's too goldy, too yellow. Yeah, I don't know. That's not my favourite. I like everything else, but I'm not really drawn to that one. But anyway, you get the gist. Absolutely tons of one and dones. But you could think, oh, I'll just put these 2 together today, or I'll just put these 2 together today, or this and this. There's so many combinations with earthy tones together. And these 3 here would be a good look in itself. All over the lid, build up in the outer V, use this to line, pop this or this for the inner corner. You don't have to have such a wild concoction of colours, but the point is, this video really was to establish whether they build, whether they work together. Can you mix anything? You absolutely can. And I've loved every second of doing this, I truly have. So before I go off and do my mascara, let's change the lip. But before we do, let's see how much this comes off. Okay, not much at all there, look. But my lips are starting to feel very dry. I definitely need to add something, they feel very dry. Not much coming off of my finger there. In fact, I think my finger's stained from swatching at the moment, but that is going to last. The tiniest bit came off on my hand. So let's see how easily it comes off with a wipe actually. Are you seeing that? So a good scrub with a wipe is coming off, but it hasn't all gone. This is going to wear off beautifully as well. Oh, these are going to be absolute go-tos for me. I love a lasting lip like this. And because they dry my lips out, no problem at all. Just pop a gloss or a balm on top as they dry, and then you're good to go for the day probably. So let's finish with the Mercier, which, as I said, is my favourite shade in the Bisou Balm, so I'm looking forward to this. Such a perfect autumn lip. It really is a perfect autumn shade. And if you get the Bisou Balm, you can use it on cheeks and on the lips. So easy, so beautiful. I adore it. Just like when I reviewed their latest liquid, can't think of the names of them now, but I've got them here because I use them all the time. These ones, the lip nectars, that's it. I immediately went off after filming and ordered all the shades. I have a strong feeling that might be the case today. How can I leave behind the other shades when they are this good? I think I need them all. So that is really built up now. I'm getting quite a wow lip. But you saw that it was lighter when I started, so you don't need to go quite as dramatic as I've just done. And when you're going for such colourful eyes, I personally wouldn't go for this really bold lip because it is overkill and it takes all the attention away from the eyes. So I wouldn't do this, I would go for something a lot lighter. But we're testing things out today so you can see them. I think though for my hydration today, I might actually try the Balm Amour to see if it works on top as well. So it's more of a base product, but let's just see. So comfortable. It's given my lips that bit of shine as well. Oh, I love that. I did say I would show you the new shade I've picked up in their Bisou blush. So the shade I've picked up is Maryam. got blush on. So here's Maryam. So what I'll do is I'll just get my F4 brush and take a little bit of that off my hand, because these are very flexible, they can go on top of powders. Oh, isn't that a nice shade? Do you know, every time I buy something from Violette, if they release a new product, I just pick up another one of these blushes, because so far I just, every time I get one I love it and I think, oh, I've got to get another one. But I think just, you know, behave yourself, don't go off shopping straight away. So whenever they launch something new, I just add another one, because my logic is eventually I'll have them all, because they're all so good. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I've got the biggest combination of colours on my face right now. Bold lips, bold cheeks, bold eyes, every colour. I look absolutely bonkers, but you know what? I've had so much fun. And all I've established today is that every single product is a knockout. This has to be one of the best reviews of the year for me. All fun, all fabulous, and all products I want to use. If I wasn't doing this for a job, every day I just live with these products, so they're so good. Anyway, let me go off and do my mascara and then we can see the final look. But I think you know my final thoughts already, don't you? So I've gone in with mascara and those are my two looks. There's not much point separating them when they're so bonkers anyway. But anyway, I think I'd actually go out like this because I love that combination. This one's a little bit too much with the green in the inner corner and maybe the blue underneath I would change. Everything I've got on the lid though on this side, I would go out in. But there's not one shade in this I haven't loved at all. Like I said, I don't know if I'd go with this one in the 2.0, but overall absolutely stunning. So is the lip formula from Violette. So was the metallic lip that I tried from Isamaya, but wowzers, these are just pure heavenly joy. Thank you, Isamaya, for bringing me so much happiness, because you absolutely have. I'm so worn out with reviews at the moment, so overworked with these videos. They've just been crazy. I just haven't stopped. I literally went to the hairdressers yesterday and I was editing videos while I was sitting in the chair. It's been crazy. But this makes it so worthwhile when it's this incredible, so beautiful, so wonderful. I've enjoyed every second of using these, and these, oh, this has to be review of the year. It has to be. Thank you, Isamaya. That's all I can say. I think I've raved enough. I cannot say a bad word about it at all. If you want these and you like colours, go and get them before they go. Because if they go and you don't, trust me, you'll regret it, because they are absolutely gorgeous. I adore them. So I would love to hear from you. Did you try them the first time round? So you maybe don't need them, you might already have them. I don't know if these formulations are better, so please do check out Rebecca's review when she gets her palette, when it finally turns up, because it would be very interesting to see if Rebecca thinks these are better in formula, because if they're not, you really don't need to upgrade, do you? Apart from if you want the 4 new shades, which I don't know which ones they are actually, but we're getting 4 new shades in this one, which Rebecca will probably be able to tell you as well, because she's picked up that one, so she can let you know, so that will be very helpful. But yeah, are you a fan, or are you thinking of getting it? Because I am completely in love. I truly am. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I've tried today, and if you've enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button and the subscribe button if not subscribed. I would love it if you join my channel. But if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I really, really, really appreciate you for being here at the end of another video, and I hope to see all of you again for my next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.